podcast, right?
Yes.
We're good. We're gonna start. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Hey everyone, welcome to Modular Components. It's the end of the week. The gang's all here, and we're all fucking depressed, angry, fucking nihilistic millennials. I'm a depressed, angry, nihilistic millennial. My name's the Vacuuminator, and I'm joined by my depressed, angry, nihilistic friend, Boingo Rider.
Heavy on depression tonight.
And our depressed, angry, nihilistic collector friend, Snowcone83 is here.
Mainly just heavy today.
Yeah. And then we have our token Zoomer, Buster Corp.
Hi, it's me, the token one that's not straight.
Fuck, guys. It's been more than 1 week since we've done a podcast where it's just the four of us hanging out and chatting. And what a week to come back to this format on, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know where to really start, because, like, I know some of us are comfortable with talking about what's going on in the world right now, and some of us aren't. But you know what? I'll just say, since we've been doing so many guest episodes, since the Craig episode, I went on a trip, and then I came back, and my life has been like even more roller coastery than it normally is. And like I've got a nice story about the trip, and I've got free whole rants about after the trip saved up. And I can just launch into any of those things. But I don't know if you guys want me to, or if you guys have things to talk about.
I mean, I started playing Elden Ring. That's
I
not
started
really
playing Elden Ring.
Oh, same?
All right, talk about Elden Rings. This is No More Games now. Welcome to the No More Games podcast, everybody. I don't fucking play video games.
All right.
Because you're lame.
So this is the first Soulsborne game I've played ever. I'm not even kidding. And it's pretty fun so far. I'm like two and a half hours in. Like I haven't gotten past the first area. It's still pretty fun. Been dying a lot, but hey, you know, I like the environment design. It's nutty. And the person who says no maidens is funny, and I like her. She's cute.
Picture it didn't happen.
It's been a meme. Let me go find it.
Oh, has it? This game has been out for like less than a day, and there's already memes.
I mean,
no
there's been
maidens.
memes.
There was memes before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
There
to
are
be fair,
memes
I
about it
hadn't
being
heard about
delayed.
this game. I hadn't heard about this game until it was releasing, and people were like, "I guess I'm playing Elden Ring this weekend, lol." And I'm like, "The fuck is Elden Ring? Is this a tie-in to the Amazon show?"
No. It's George R.R. Martin.
And no, Hideaki Miyazaki.
George R.R. Martin did part of the fucking story development. Come on now.
But
yeah,
like,
he's doing everything
It's-
except finishing his fucking book.
yeah, okay, fair.
It is very much a classic From Software game with a open world twist.
Oh,
And
classic
I
From
think-
Soft game, so it's Armor Core?
Boingo, you're never
I
gonna let
fucking
Armor Core go,
wish.
aren't you?
I've never played an Armor Core game. The
There's
hell are you
Armored
talking
Core
about?
coming out. They're reviving it.
I hope
Yeah.
they are, so people can shut up about it.
Real quick, Buster, she's a cutie, but not my type.
I hate you.
You're a Badooty, but also Shapooty.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who's religiously played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Bloodborne and Demon Souls, but
You're a
not
big Dark Demon
Sekiro.
Blood fan.
I'm a big From Software fan, and that's what this game is, and I can't beat the guy on the horse yet because I've only played about 2 hours worth of gameplay
Same.
with my friend.
Yeah, I think we're around the same point, just like kind of like going all over, just exploring and just experimenting in the world. But you know, I like that kind of feeling. I'm gonna take it at my own pace. I don't expect it to beat it anytime soon. But you know, it'll be like a nice, fun kind of relaxation game. Despite it being dying, just like I need an hour to kill. Okay, I'll just boot up Elden Ring S5.
I need an hour to kill. I'll just
PS5.
experience dying.
Since when PS5, huh?
I got it at launch. Okay, here's the thing. My brother got it at launch. He's not used it since. I'm the only one using it.
How is this the first time I've heard you have a brother?
Okay, because he's never at home because he actually can drive.
Oh, older brother? Okay.
No, younger brother. He's
What?
younger, and yet he's like a year younger than me. And like,
Oh, he's like the outgoing older brother that people don't understand why you're related kind of a thing? That trope?
kinda. Like, he'll do. It's a. I don't want to get too into it. 'Cause it doesn't
Interesting.
really
I'm gonna go update your psychiatric file real quick.
Okay, what are you, a therapist? Brock, you have your own problems. You're the last person I want therapy from.
I'm the fucking Batman of this group, okay? I have advanced, highly detailed the face I just made. I've advanced, highly detailed.
No, I'm just surprised you're
on how to
comparing
kill
yourself
all
to
of you.
Batman.
Yes, because if this ship has to go down, you understand, you're all going down with me. This isn't just gonna be like the Vacuuminator gets canceled. This is gonna be the Vacuuminator gets canceled, and then he comes back for his 5-way revenge.
Look, I'm uncancelable.
Of us here.
I'm
including
also
you.
uncancelable.
How are you going to do a 5-way revenge?
Well, I mean, Craig and
I have a
Garrett
white
are here as well.
supremacist tattoo, and people still are friends with me, so I think I'm pretty
Wait,
untouchable.
what?
Excuse
No,
me,
no, okay.
sir.
You gotta fucking explain that, Cody. You
I
can't
will
drop that
explain
because
no
I know
further.
the story. I know
The
the story.
revelation.
They don't.
What the hell?
I have
Okay,
the OK symbol tattooed on my arm, because
What
it was a
symbol? I
thing that
didn't
I
hear
do.
it.
This,
Okay.
that.
Oh, okay. The OK symbol.
I'll just show that.
Okay.
I got it with the matching tattoo with my friend because I popularized that at school to the point, like in college, to the point to where like amongst my teacher and like everyone in my classes and stuff, to the point to where on my graduation he did that on my like speech for giving me an award for that. For graduating, he did it in an auditorium in front of everybody, and everyone laughed because everyone got the joke.
The major look thing.
Yeah. Funny, haha, whatever. Fast forward to college, or fast forward to a different college. I go to UNF, and me and my friend Jen one night decided to go ahead and get it as a matching tattoo, a Friday 13th tattoo. Who cares? About 3 months after that, is when the whole 4chan thing started happening, to where 4chan claimed it as a white power symbol.
I've never heard of this.
Oh no, it's gotten so much worse. It's gotten people fired from Disney, and it's gotten people fired from government jobs because they'll flash it in cameras and stuff like that.
Oh shit.
Now, mind you, so all this shit busts out while I look the way I do, which is a big fat bald guy who commonly at the time was wearing combat pants, like military boots or big heavy boots, and an Iron Maiden shirt religiously on a college campus, and I have this tattooed on my arm.
Oh no!
And then all of a sudden it comes out as like a white supremacist thing. I remember me and my friend Cole were standing in a FYE, and like we heard two people behind us being like, we like started talking about the tattoo, and like we're just like, oh fuck, this is it. Like this is gonna be a fucking altercation or something. What are we gonna do? And the guy's just like, hey man, like your tattoo, see you later. And then it fucking takes off. And I'm gonna get it covered up now. Not that it's not literally a white supremacist tattoo for me, and like I think it's probably gonna be fine. It's not really recognized like that.
And the
But I
dog
have
whistle
had at
has
least-
died down.
Well, like it's also the same. Like it sounds like it's a similar situation to that famous story of a guy who was at Pearl Harbor before World War II broke out and had a swastika on his chest because it was a Jewish symbol for peace before the Nazis co-opted it.
That's an extreme example.
There's a lot of
that is a, but I mean, it's there.
Yeah. I mean, I just see it regularly, and I'm thinking, oh, that person just saying okay. Like,
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about it, but I do know that last year somebody came into work and literally walked up to me like, "Oh, is that the Nazi symbol?" And I'm at my job. I'm like, "Oh, well, yes, it is. How's it going? You too, crazy small world."
I've also
Like-
just never used this. I've never used the OK hand sign seriously in real life. So like that is so fucking out there to me.
that's
Yeah, it's weird.
wild. Like, I figured I was like, wait, is this like, because like it's not as extreme as I thought. It's not like because I don't really associate the OK symbol with that.
Yeah, it was an attempt at trying to make it a dog whistle, and people saw through it relatively easily, so it never really truly took off as a dog whistle for white supremacy. So
Yeah.
No, but it was enough to get removed from most video games.
yeah, I'm not saying it didn't succeed to an extent, but it's like,
I mean, it's still an emoji.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, most times with,
For like a millennia, it's meant okay, and people are like, yes.
and I'm just most of the time when video games usually remove stuff like that, it's very performative.
That's true.
Okay, I think I had a story. I just forgot. I'm not gonna.
I just dropped a tiny piece of plastic.
Entertain the humans listening to us in their ears. That is our job.
Ah.
I say that like we get paid for this. Fucking.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
don't
get
know.
paid $2 on your Patreon every month.
I break even on my Patreon because that money goes back into payments to other people's Patreons.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I think I actually need to be making $8 on Patreon before I start profiting.
Yeah, fair. $1 goes a
Anyways.
long way.
Yeah. But that's inside baseball. Let's talk about outside baseball. Fuck it, guys. Pick a number between 1 and 3, and I'll just go on a rant.
2.
7.
42.
Boy, I understood that reference.
I
A lot of
understood that reference too, but now I hate you.
You always hate me.
Fuck.
That's true. It is my life's purpose to hate Boingo Rider and yet continue to make podcasts with him.
I mean, like, it's like that meme that went around. It's like, oh, everyone on a podcast is best friends with each other. Why don't we get worst enemies on a podcast? And everyone just replied, it's super best friends you're thinking of. You're thinking of the super best friends.
Mm-hmm. But no. Okay, so like this is interesting because this is related to shit that was going on around the house today. So like if I get loud, if people overhear this, there could be a live argument on the podcast, everybody. But fuck it. My sister is moved back in with us, and her shit's fucking everywhere, not just in her room. And it's ridiculous, and it's awful, and I hate it. And like my room, even though you look at my room and it looks like a fucking cacophonous mess of toys, it's the only room in the house that doesn't give me a fucking headache right now because I'm not tripping over baby clothes or fucking furniture that hasn't been properly set up yet or some other bullshit or fucking I don't like it, man. I don't like that one person 1.5 persons moved in and it feels like 5 persons moved in. Life is bad. Ooh.
Okay, I'm sorry, but when you said tripping over baby clothes, I just imagined the most dramatic trip. When you're just like over a little bit.
No, I mean like the hallway right over there that goes to her bedroom and our shared bathroom. There's 2 giant trash bags of her and her son's clothes that are just in the hallway, and we have to deal with whenever we want to open a door that they're in front of.
Ah, okay. Yeah. But like I'm
nowhere
sorry.
else to go.
It like as bad as it is, I just found it a funny mental image.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm sure that'll make for a great animated bit of the podcast one day when we do that trope.
Oh man. Like I kind of like I have an idea for like doing animations with the podcast, but it's basically just PNG stick figures do things.
So Kajina.
Yes. Oh, you've actually watched it?
I've seen clips.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. I do post
Seen footage.
Clips. I do post some clips. It actually ended recently. Well, that was the thing. I kind of unfollowed Kanjin. I had nothing against him. He got a bit too much for
Got a bit too much for the busto.
Yeah, like again, no offense to him, he just kind of kept posting these like very contrarian, like I'm not like the other fellows kind of takes. Got a bit.
Well, people be like that, bruh.
Yeah, I know. Again, it's just like he's not a bad guy, just Joe. I just like that's not really a person I want to follow. I'm like,
you can be into somebody's content and then go like you're a fuck nugget on Twitter. I'm not going to follow you.
Yeah, I feel like that was me with like in the BMask Discord for the temporary time I was a part of it. Because like if you don't know me, I'm actually quite active in quite a lot of Discords.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why do you do that to you?
I guess it's to quote unquote make friends. I mean, like one of them is a Patreon Discord I'm a part of.
That's fair. That is, yeah. Like I'm
even though the
still
creator
paying to be. Go ahead.
The creator never interacts in it, but like I like everyone else there.
Yeah. I kind of have that going on where like I'm still I barely watch the new content Endless just puts out just on his Patreon, but like I like being in his server. It's a cool, chill place with some cool but kind of odd people, and occasionally Jess himself or Boozy will bomb in on a conversation like once a month, and it's like, oh hey, they still know we're here.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of also the thing. I'm not gonna say the creator's name because I don't want to like get him in trouble. But like, yeah.
But like most other Discord servers,
Markiplier.
No, it's not Markiplier.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He'll never be on Component.
Markiplier.
Okay, no. Here's the funny thing. So like I was considering this is a scrap video idea. Like here we're gonna get into scrap video ideas that was inspired by Markiplier. So he
Oh my
recently just
God.
put out like that infamous Smash or Pass Pokemon video at the time of recording this.
Oh, that
And
was
then everyone,
him?
yeah, and
Yeah.
then everyone else started doing it. People were doing it with like
Oh, okay. See,
Digimon.
I must have
like-
seen somebody imitating him and thought like, oh, that's weird, but okay, got to make your content.
Yeah, and like here's the problem. Everyone else is going in depth with their choices. Markiplier just did kind of like a speed run, just be like click, 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 pass, smash, pass, but and that was kind of the joke.
the Pokemon in one go? I'm yawning.
Yeah, he did like every Pokemon, like 700 plus Pokemon, like smash or pass, and it's like the joke was kind of just like, oh, like he's just kind of going like it's kind of a speed run. At least that's how I view it. I don't really watch Markiplier often. I've seen clips. And
I tried to get into his content. Like there was an era where I like gave him and Jacksepticeye and all them a good old college try, and I definitively decided this is not for me.
yeah, I don't really like daily content, but if it's your thing, go ahead. And just like everyone else is doing it. I remember this guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but he recently blocked me on Twitter. He did it with Power Rangers Megazords, and I'm like,
The real Matt Hunt.
no, he's probably gonna block me soon because I used the hashtag grain of salt.
He's already blocked me. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that guy. He's a cunty Illuminati piece of shit rumor spreader.
He's not even like part of the Illuminati. He's just like does similar things. Like, sorry. Oh God, we mentioned the Illuminati. This is gonna
I mean, like he also blocked me back before I even knew what Illuminati was, because he made like I forget what it even was. He just made some like incredibly shit take about how Power Rangers gets adapted, and I made a Fred unpacking why it was a shit take, and he just blocked me without saying anything. And I was like, all right, you bitch.
That's kind of a similar thing. Like this person I was mentioning. I don't really want to say the name. You don't even know him. But like I just be like that. Like they're like, why do you all compare Power Rangers and Sentai? I'm like, dude, one's an adaptation of the other. Of course we're gonna compare them. Like, it's pretty natural for people.
That's how this works. Are you new here? Do you need a tour guide?
And I was like, I said, well, I understand the reasoning. I don't think that's a good take. And then he just, because I quote unquote dunked on his takes before, he just blocked me. And like then apparently, people I thought like apparently it was a whole. I didn't really make a big deal out of it because I didn't want to cause drama, but I was kind of disappointed because other people who I thought I was mutuals with kind of like backed him up, and I was like, well,
I mean, people do be having shit takes. It does happen. People
yeah,
do listen to our podcast.
Why do people like? I'm just like, I get it. We can have shit takes, and we can all ratio each other for shit takes. But why do we gotta be like so mean about it? Why do we gotta like make that our entire personality?
I still don't even okay, Zoomer, do me a favor and explain to your millennial elder what the fuck does ratio mean?
Okay,
I
Like
don't
dislike.
understand. I don't understand, and at this point, I'm just like, what the fuck?
Bud.
Like
Me and
to
Cody
dislike.
are old. Yeah, the ratio of dislikes to likes.
Okay, that's
And you do it on
that's a
Twitter.
statistic. What does it mean to ratio someone?
Okay, you quote tweet them, and you make a tweet, you post that tweet, and you get more likes than the original tweet the person posted.
Or
So it's
there's
Mother's
less
Basement making a video about SSS Gridman.
Yes.
Okay.
Or another version is there's barely any likes on the original tweet, but there's 1,001 quote retweets of people going, "You are an idiot."
Yeah. That happens a lot in anime community.
See, where I'm from, we just call that internet bullying.
I mean, it's
Not if they're wrong.
They're not racist or something. I mean, this person wasn't racist, the person I'm talking about, but just like in other situations of ratio. Oh my god. What is
Also,
my
like,
life?
Can we get a
Dive into your
ratio
Twitter
for
timeline.
racism in the chat, please?
Can we get an F in chat for human decency, please, and thank you.
Man,
Hey, can we get some V's
Like,
in the chat for back?
I feel like this is the point I'm trying to make. It's just like it's okay to have like shit takes. It's just not like bad like takes that harm human beings, but like shit takes on media. It's just and it's okay to like talk about it, but like peacefully or like respectfully, or even if you just say like internet, we're gonna exaggerate a bit, and everyone's just like as soon as you just say like a shit or something, it's like people just getting like you're mean, you're a bully, and it's like no, I'm just like when I quote tweet, I don't really like I use that
I
as
disagree.
Yeah, I disagree. It's I don't know. Maybe I'm just like over complicating this.
Like Matt Hunt, you had no reason to block me. I wasn't saying you're
It's
an
okay to
idiot.
block
I was saying your statement is stupid. And I'm not even saying this as like an argument to unblock me. I legitimately do not give a fuck. This is just a good example for me to go to because it's funny.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
people don't know how to disconnect their opinions from themselves and don't know how to actually defend their opinions instead of just stating them.
Thank you. I was thinking about this just yesterday because I was listening to the episode of the Wham show from right after Linus made that shit take about piracy, and the internet was like getting really mad at him, and he was like, "I don't understand how this is a shit take. I just did this bit," and it's like, dude, what you're saying is factually correct. Nobody is arguing that. What we are arguing is that you essentially did the thing where somebody comes up to you at a party, says, "Hey, do you want a beer?" And you say, "No thanks, I don't drink," in a tone that makes it sound like them drinking is morally wrong. You made everybody feel bad for a thing that you're also saying is okay.
Let's get off Twitter. God, we had the obligatory.
We're on
Twitter podcast.
we can never be off Twitter at this point in time.
Yeah, same. I've tried, but like I'm like, nah, I can't.
Twitter is my politics. Twitter is my life. Retweet everyone. Block all the people. Mute your grandfather. Ban your grandmother. Ratio your stepbrother. Do it all and then kill yourself. That's my policy. That's my platform that I'm running on for President of the United States of America in the year of our Lord and Savior never.
Yeah, this. God.
Is this good? Is this good content? Is that what we're doing
A
right
little
now?
bit of
Depressing
everything
content.
all the
That's it for
time.
this
A little
week.
bit of everything.
I mean, we're dancing around the thing that's really on all of our minds, just because, like, why would we? Why would like? Here's a challenge. Let's talk about why we wouldn't talk about the thing without saying what the thing is. Because, like, I can't put it into words, but good gosh golly, Miss Molly.
I think this is a big thing. Is just like we're not being directly right at this very second impacted by it.
Yeah.
But we understand that people are being impacted by it.
And at any
And,
moment,
like,
it could change to impact us.
But here's the thing: any impact to us is nebulous at best at this point in time. Like,
So here's what I could say about this, because I've been thinking about it constantly, more so than like anything else. So.
All right,
What's
I almost shit myself because I dead ass just heard a plane go over my house.
Yeah, same.
All right.
What the fuck, dude? Okay, I'm sorry, Cody. Or Snowcone.
All right, Mister. Is that fireworks or is there a man with a gun in my neighborhood?
That's the thing. That's the thing. Like, people keep going like, "Oh, it's World War III." It's like, buddy, guy. We're not in immediate danger of things, and acting as if we are is incredibly selfish.
Yeah.
Yes, but we're individuals. We're programmed to be selfish.
No, we're not. We're programmed to be communal animals. Fuck off with that selfish bullshit. We are not programmed to do that.
Yeah.
We are socialized to do that in American context, but we are not selfish creatures.
Okay, yes, I can agree with that.
We are communal.
Yeah. Okay. No. Can I talk if you don't mind? Just like my brief statement.
Yes, speak.
All right. So like, I guess what just bugs me most is just like I can't do anything. I feel like I can't do anything. I feel like even if I donate to like any, there's like so many like caveats to each of them, and I don't know where to get the right info and like how am I gonna like support?
I donated today.
Yeah, good. It's just like I'm trying.
Both types of funds you can throw money at.
Yeah, it just like, and especially like it kind of hurts because for those, I'm not gonna say the name of what's happening, but I will say like what previously. For those who don't know, I have Palestinian roots, and something very similar happened to Palestine a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And so it just kind of feels like for me, it's just like I want to do more. But I just don't know how, and I don't think I can because that's not a field I'm specialized in.
And that's also a big thing with like the modern day, is we are plugged into all the things, and we can't do all the things.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the craziest thing about this. One of the most striking things, at least, is even with past instances like this, I don't think I've seen something to where, it's happening and the person driving down the road that it's happening to has a fucking phone out that they could record and I could watch it live on Twitter right now. Mm-hmm. It's never been to that level. And also the way of the thing that is happening, I used to only read about in history books. And I was like, man, crazy. That'll never happen again, though. Stuff like it'll happen that's more low key and, or like proxy bullshit and whatever, but it'll never be that direct. We're past that, right? Like, and I mean, that's obviously severely naive, but it's like just to see what we're seeing and to see the response, it's strange. It's so,
It does
shit,
feel
there's
very
hardly ever
alien.
words for it.
It has that uncanny valley feel of it, I'd say.
Yeah, especially because a lot of us are very, I don't want to say sheltered, but like very.
I mean, a lot of us have grown up away from being able to experience anything that's even remotely like that. Like, yes, we've grown up during the time where the country that all of us hail from at present has been at war with the Middle East, but like that's something that like just kind of became normalized after a couple of years, and it didn't really feel like a major thing that was going on because of how weird and fractured it was. I mean, the most time I really got super engaged with that was when it was ending, and everybody was going like, "Oh, it's the end of Vietnam all over again," and I was like, "Oh shit, you're right. That's fucking terrifying."
I don't know how much on this topic we want to be. We could probably all talk about it forever, and it really doesn't matter because it's not happening to any of us directly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't completely like, not necessarily like disagree or agree with what you were saying, Boingo. I think the threat, just because of the person who's in charge of, like
the person doing the action.
Yeah. The person doing the action is unhinged and can make decisions while being unhinged.
And we've also treated them like a cartoon character in our culture for most of our lifetime.
And essentially, the thing that the place where this is happening in is in a basket that is surrounded. Like, we can't do anything technically with Ukraine, but if anything happens around them, almost every single one of them is NATO related, and we would have to act. Every single country on that would have to act in some form, and that would essentially be a catalyst. If we chose not to, we're violating essentially what has been in place since like the 40s, the 50s, or NATO was 70s. We'd be violating that, and that's supposed to be in place to protect people from stuff like this. So I don't know, I don't know. I know it's obviously not like, oh, it's happening right now. Oh, it's World War III, the world's over, but it's no. But
there's also a lot of things that need to be understood of like not just America, but everybody's pretty much putting sanctions. Let's cut the pretense because it's easier to stop.
All I've seen today is people. Okay, cutting pretense. All right, here it is. If you're listening to this and you don't understand historical context and you can't look at the fucking date of the upload. This is coming out at the time, or will have been recorded at the time Russia is invading Ukraine. It could be fucking over by the time this comes out. Fuck it, I don't know.
So far from what I've seen of Ukraine, they're holding their ground really well.
Yeah. But yeah, it's also like all I have seen.
I know it's not a thing that we should be going like, oh, they're handling them like it's not that kind of thing. But like,
no matter what way you cut it, it's not good.
Yeah, but it's very much like...
And it seems like everyone is doing everything they can to kind of isolate Russia in response to it in every way they can other than firing a weapon at them.
Which, honestly, considering the state of the Russian economy and their structure and all the things, will probably be enough because their technology is basically held together by gum and paper clips kind of thing. They have to import a lot of that kind of stuff. And
I mean, apparently,
that's a little fucky to say. I don't know about that one, Chris.
No, I've read somewhere. I need to go back and find the source.
It's also weird because, like, it's hard to know what is and isn't real in all of this. But, like, I saw an article the other day about, like, a group of Ukrainian soldiers captured a Russian truck or a tank or something and were, like, laughing at how out of date all of it was.
I mean, that's not completely true because some of the Russian technology is right there with ours when it comes to their military tech. Some of it's outdated because they have one of the largest militaries in the world. I'm not fucking defending Russia. I'm just stating like facts and whatever. They've kept like the Kalashnikov design in service long past what that should have been. It was designed to be the replacement for a specific gun in like World War II, and is still a replacement for that gun, and still is something used. They have stuff like that, but they also have modern stuff. It's like a here or there thing.
And I'm not talking military. I'm talking general infrastructure.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is like they're no different in a lot of respects from us. I mean, obviously,
we also got to remember it's not the Russian people, because they have been actively protesting this, even though it is very dangerous to do so in Russia.
There's been countless documented cases of troops who are giving up or surrendering because they don't want to deal with this shit, because it's not their decision. It's not what they feel is right. And I mean, there's obviously going to be outliers, and there's going to be plenty of people who are not going to do that shit. Just like with us, when it comes to certain things, I know people who like enlisted because they thought it was the right thing to do in every single war, and that's fine. And I know people who enlisted because they were fucking psychotic and wanted to just have fun and like kill people, and that's the wrong thing to do. And those people are in every continent, on every state, every like part of the world. So it just depends.
Yeah, so it's just a bit heavy for me. It's honestly like
I can lighten it up a bit, because there's been one really interesting thing for me in a personal way coming out of all this, which is just that, like, all right, this is such a fucking me thing to say, I just realized, but I have gotten weirdly drawn into the European cam girl scene out of this.
What the hell, man? No.
Because like there's a lot of them in that area of the world who are talking about like helping others try to move and get out of here, and sharing resources and stuff like that. And like I'm finding they're like the most factually accurate people on my timeline, and I'm just like, okay, this is unexpected but awesome. Like it's like when you find out K-pop people are really cool.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. I was like, for a second, I thought you were going to go a completely other direction.
No. And like, I'll also say, just to like fucking cover any tracks of like comments we could get out of me saying that, I've long been of the opinion that the sex work is not only valid work, but it's art. It's another form of performance art. So fuck off with trying to shame me for being into it on any level.
Yeah. What Vax said. There's like, I do feel like in like times of crisis, while there is a lot of dread, there's also like those little bits of like shining hope. Like I remember, like I retweeted this video about like people like making a mural in Syria, and I found that really beautiful. And also like today I saw a video of like a soccer player, I think from Russia, like he was like stop the war. He literally took a marker and like wrote it on a camera. And like he's apparently could get in jail for that. But
there is massive laws against criticizing the government in Russia.
I mean, all the people who went out and protested in the capital, that Moscow. Was crazy. Yeah, Moscow, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So my favorite things to come out of it, I mean, not favorite, like the most by far the most uplifted. Not uplift. I mean, it's not uplifting. They're still stark and depressing in ways.
Silver lining.
But I'll just say it. You don't have to. You can stop guessing. Like the things that were like the most moving in ways, the most harrowing things I've seen in probably my lifetime. The what they call like the Ukrainian 13, the people on the island outpost in the Black Sea, and they stood their ground, and the dude's fucking final words. It's just, so I mean, it's going to be in history books. Our kids are going to be learning about this shit, and they're going to be reading this line where the guy said, he literally says, to the lady sitting next to him, he's like, the Russian ship's like, lay down your arms and surrender, or there will be consequences. And he's like, well, this is it, I guess. I guess I should tell him. And the lady's like, yeah, just tell him. And he's like, okay, attention, Russian battleship, go fuck yourself. And like, they then the battle against an island with some emplacements and a battleship, ensued. And that's just like some classic like fucking heroism right there.
It sounds like something out of Saving Private Ryan.
here's the thing. I think humanity collectively have just learned enough history to not let this continue super heavy, because this is the playbook. This is the little mustache playbook.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost is to the T, because in the Black Sea, they're attacking cargo ships, which is kind of the way that we got involved in part in World War II. But
like,
one of the ways. But the other thing is the fucking Ukrainian president, the prime minister. What world leader in like the last 20 years could you say would act to the level that he is, where he is not only...
I forget who said it on my timeline, but somebody was like, this dude is like Hollywood's idea of an American president.
Yeah. For people who don't know what's going on with him, Biden offered to fly the Ukrainian leader out of country for safety, and he was like, no, don't fly me out, send more ammo.
Yeah. I don't need a ride, I need guns.
And he keeps posting like photos and little videos of him just walking around the Capitol with soldiers and being like, we're here, we're still here, we're gonna fight, it's good.
No, there's a mayor, there's like Ukrainian superstars and boxers who've returned home,
like that
to fucking fight. Like
that boxer who's rich enough to like go anywhere in the world and retire and never be bothered again, and he's out in fucking full camo.
And I think to me, that's learning the history, because before it was things of like, there was a veneer of gentlemanness to war.
Mm-hmm.
Before 1 and 2, there was the idea of like a gentleman's war, and after World War 1 and 2, and then the consecutive Cold War and all the proxy battles that were fought, people are just like, nah, war's bullshit, fuck it off. We're not going to deal with that kind of shit. We're not going to deal with a despot trying to roll in and under the guise of blood and soil. Now,
switching gears, because I know probably several audience members and definitely Buster are very uncomfortable right now. Yeah. We're still going to be slightly on topic here, because I want to ask Snowcone. I know it was pre-scheduled. I know they had no way of knowing, but like, did that G.I. Joe live stream not feel like a bit of a hard watch at times, just because of the nature of the world?
I mean, you could draw as many lines as you want when you're paying attention to something like that, but like, they didn't announce any like fucking like, the Ruski character, and like fuck. No, it was just,
there was even a moment where they were talking about like G.I. Joe is not meant to be a fucking jingoistic American rah-rah story, but like it was still like, that's kind of what G.I. Joe's known as, man, and it's weird to be getting excited about G.I. Joe toys at a time where like we're debating whether or not American military should be getting involved in an ongoing conflict.
I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it kind of brings up something my friend said, like about like just like they aren't really like fond of G.I. Joe, and they're like, it hasn't really aged well, and it's like Snake Eyes was like, they didn't really like Snake Eyes, and just, I don't know, just remind me of that, and it's like, I don't think.
That being said, though, I'm super excited for Dusty and Kamakura.
I think a lot of American properties, though, don't age that well because of that kind of connotation,
Yeah, good point. Like, I'd even argue Power Rangers falls under a similar thing. But
so much of it is birthed from this place of like bathed in childhood innocence, trying to make this thing that's like purely good for kids, but it's so sanitized towards that direction that like, looking back, it really takes a lot of legwork to get away from there. Like,
but there's also like several elements of like, whether we like to admit it or not, G.I. Joe has jingoistic, not G.I. Joe, Transformers can have some jingoistic inclinations.
Masculinity, maybe?
No, not toxic masculinity, jingoistic. Because think about it this way: who is the basis of Optimus Prime?
Oh, an American soldier.
John Wayne.
Yeah, an American soldier.
No, John Wayne is an actor, dude.
Oh, never mind.
John Wayne played cowboys.
John Wayne was like the classic.
I remember, like,
John Wayne was the classic, iconic, good cowboy in every fucking movie in like the 60s and 70s.
Okay, because like I know Peter Cullen said he based the voice off his soldier brother. That's what I heard.
Yeah, but like overall culture to such, like, okay, just real quick, just looking around me. Ghostbusters deal with American exceptionalism of the small businessman succeeding in the face of government scrutiny. That's an American tale as anything.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
can
I'm not
draw those
saying-
lines. I'm building a fucking military robot because I think it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, it's literally everywhere. And
I'm not saying that we shouldn't enjoy these things. It's just we need to be cognizant.
Yeah, like
yeah,
media
and I mean, like,
literacy.
I
Gundam-
just like literally today I spent $200 on a big toy of a robot from a show about a paramilitary organization on American soil fighting demons from like an ancient that are like attacking from an ancient burial ground. That's like that's several layers of sanitized but uncomfortableness.
that's the classic American dream. I mean, come on.
But like it's not and it's never no we shouldn't enjoy GI Joe. GI Joe has good things about it. Can interconnectivity of different people working together, teamwork, all that kind of stuff.
It's just complex.
The original Marvel series was even used to discuss the horrors of war and how it can affect people at some time. Like there are characters in that Marvel run that are like canonically Vietnam veterans who have a real hard time with certain things.
So, and I mean, G.I. Joe as we know it with like G.I. Joe the cartoon was a revamp of the image of the original G.I. Joe, which was, you
Yeah,
know,
the 50s.
essentially, you know, glorifying your classic. I mean, not glorifying, but it was just like you'd play war. And
The everyman who can do everything because he is a strong American strapping young lad with blue eyes and a shortcut hair.
no, I mean, it wasn't even that. They were literally like scale model dolls with like you can get your Marine, your Air Force, your Green Beret. You can get them in
replica
all the
weapons
different
and accurate
BDUs.
uniforms.
Yeah.
To this day,
I had them.
G.I. Joe
I
still
had
has a
them.
partial stigma with boomers of being Barbie for boys.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's literally what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry for if any audience finds it like a bit weird that we kind of like used it to transition into media, but like
It's
for
what we
me,
do.
yeah, it's kind of like how like not how we cope because I've been seeing a lot of terrible quote unquote coping memes about this. It just like it brings a discussion when to our interests. Like,
Well,
And here's the
here's
thing:
the
we're not
thing.
necessarily talking about media. We're talking about how
yeah,
we understand media through this lens of like because there's speak on coping memes. I've been seeing a lot of memes which I feel are
You see,
misunderstanding the situation and going like, "Oh man, I don't want to be drafted." And it's like, we're not doing that. The American system is never going back to a draft.
okay.
We have the largest volunteer military, like second or the largest volunteer military in the world. Secondly, the volunteer military works better than the draft military ever did.
I mean, deadass, I tweeted about that when shit first broke out because I was legitimately scared and I wasn't informed. But I'm informed now, and like I fucking get that we're probably never going back to a draft. And even if we did, I'd kind of be okay because like I'm the last surviving male member of my family, and like I'm almost aged out at this point.
that's 1940 rules. If it's something like that, it's not going to come back. But yeah. Don't worry about that.
But there's also the idea of it takes this conflict and it centralizes it on American interests, which is
exactly. It's egotistical.
It's egotistical. It's American centric. It is the thing we're trying to get away from.
Yeah.
America is not the center of the world. We are not the world police.
But like that's another thing I would say is like we don't educate people enough on this stuff. I didn't know about those 1940 rules, as Snowcone put it, until a couple days ago, and that's kind of fucking weird that we would have the draft as like such a prevalent idea in American culture, and yet we wouldn't explain to people how it works.
Yeah, maybe schools should actually teach us shit like this instead of glorifying Indian stories.
Mm-hmm. But like,
I don't know. I mean, I might have been, not might have. I've always been a like war history nut and like a world history nut and a religious history nut.
Yeah.
And so I grew up watching the military channel. I was going to enlist when I was younger.
Yeah, and I'm an army brat. I'm the son of a soldier, so I just been around that for a long time. So I just know kind of like bits and pieces.
But then there's also like getting back to what you said earlier, Buster, or like a couple minutes ago about like it being weird that we jump back and forth between this very serious topic and like how it relates to media. that's just kind of what it is to be a YouTuber, and that's kind of what I see components as week in and week out. Unless we have a guest to focus us on a specific thing, this show is very much like I said at the start. It's a couple of angry, depressed, nihilistic millennials chatting back and forth with a decent helping, and by decent I mean like the amount of chemical X the professor accidentally put into the Powerpuff Girls formula of nerd shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what this podcast is.
This is what I could say about this, Buster. I mean, like, we're not like there's no. I mean, obviously there could be there's things you don't say, but like there's no right and wrong way that we're gonna be able to like handle this.
Yeah.
We're all gonna like it's all gonna affect us in ways like we're all gonna think about it, but it's not happening to us directly, so it's not about us. But at the end of the day, it's impossible not to ignore. What would be incorrect is to ignore it
Yeah.
and to not acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And I
You
think
know.
I think we're now. I think general populations are now getting to the point of like understanding that dichotomy of like this thing is important. I need to be aware of it, but it is not about me.
There's
Because like,
You know,
for lack of a better way of describing it, Black Lives Matter a couple of years ago with all of the police killings and just trying to fight that, and that got really focused and centered on, no, I'm going to the protest. Well, what have we done after we got the photo opportunities at the protest to show that we care? What have we done collectively as a society to help move these things forward? Sure,
Very
a couple
little.
cities decided to defund their police a little bit, but like there hasn't been
nothing changed.
nothing changed because it was under the idea of focusing on self and not on what the problem is.
And I don't know. I mean, and personally, so like when it comes to stuff like that, I try not to share too much about that thing because I always like want to avoid. I've always been in the camp of like if you want to do something right, the first thing your first thought shouldn't be reach for a camera.
Unless
No,
it's
like,
to record something wrong happening.
right, right. Check out this wrong thing I'm about to do. No, but no, like
Let me
I
do
mean,
this
like
kickflip over this police brutality.
the fucking YouTube videos where they're like, look at this cool thing I did for this homeless person. Here's me going to the store and buying them a meal, and here's them eating the meal. None of those are right. I don't give a fuck. None of those are okay. I
The
hate
minute
every
you
single
brag
one of
about
those
a good deed, it is no longer a good deed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
you're
I
using
felt-
it for clout.
I felt uncomfortable bringing up the fact that I donated, and I only really did it because like I was trying to make Buster feel a little more comfortable with the idea.
Yeah, I understand. Like,
But here's the thing: you weren't saying like, "Oh yeah, no, I did such a good thing, I donated." It's like, no, I did what I felt like the most I could do, which at this point in time is just donating.
Mhm.
That's about it. Like,
yeah.
you can't go out there with a gun and fight for the Ukraine. You're
I
not.
mean, I could, but it would take a lot of effort, and I'd probably get shot quicker than I'd shoot anybody else.
But like, that's kind of the point. Is like, you are not in a place where you can do anything other than that, and you weren't saying it for brownie points. You're just saying like, this is what I can do.
Yeah.
Like
So,
I went on this whole rant on Twitter yesterday about like all I can do is I sent a little bit of money when things first started happening and the links started going around, and then I just kept watching because I felt like the most I can do is be somebody who remembers this shit.
Yeah. That's
Be informed and
very,
know what's
very-
going on.
and one strange thing, and it's so far more than strange. And I mean, it's got to come from who I am personally. And like I said, I'm like anti-war. I mean, fuck, I'm like borderline anti-military in certain respects because of how fucked up most governments are and how fucked up things can be. But like, if things would escalate like that, like I said, I mean, I used to want to enlist before I had certain opinions. I used to want to sign up for that.
I mean, dude, I was a little kid who idolized his dad, so
yeah, and
okay,
it's just
guys, a soldier has the potential to be a cool person, and usually is a cool person. The military-industrial complex is vast and horrifying, and it warps and destroys people, and it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know. It's just like it makes you think about things because, like, you think about like what would you do in like World War II? Like there's a fucking I don't know. I don't know. It's such a fucking complexing thing to where it's like we got another big bad again. That way, there's a central enemy again. There's a it's never been that easy, and easy's not the right word. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's hard to even put into words. It's like my friend Jake was saying. It's like you just gotta think about and do what you think is the best thing for you to do in times like these in this moment. Like whatever helps you cope, whatever you think will help other people. That's what you got to go with. And
But don't be a jerk.
I don't know. Yeah,
Don't-
whether that's like
don't harm.
As long as you're not directly harming somebody else or spreading misinformation, cope how you have to cope, process how you have to process. Just don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, or just don't be like, don't just they're just it's just like don't be like too insensitive about it. I get like unless you're like actually in that line, like unless it's like it's complicated. Don't be a jerk.
I mean, I'll admit a thing that really freaks me out is the fact that this is a thing where it's like you hear the discussions of like, oh, is the United States going to get involved, this, that, and the other thing from like the less informed people, and it's like, well, if we get involved, then it's over very quickly because we have nukes and the Russians have nukes, and like all it takes is one side, and that's the fucking end of the world right there.
okay, the last time something like that happened, that is not how it went, and there's no reason that would be how it goes.
There's a whole time period in textbooks about that.
It's true, but the thought still enters my head. I've still seen
here's the thing,
enough shit about Hiroshima and Nagasaki to be fucking terrified.
And here's the thing that's probably going to be the more likely option that's going to the more likely if boots have to be put on the ground thing to happen. It would be a group force, UN, NATO, thingamajig, whatever, of allied nations going into Ukraine, helping them out, not necessarily...
Oh god, I fucking hate my brain.
Going to war with Russia, but just kind of like going, get the fuck out of here, fuck off.
It would be a real-life G.I. Joe.
And America would be...
That's what G.I. Joe is in the fiction. It's a United Nations allied thing.
I mean, the United Nations do this kind of stuff all the time, so...
Yeah. I'm just that's why I said...
Yeah, I mean, okay, that's... again, that's one of those things where it's like just a second ago, where you're like, no, wait a fucking minute. Like, okay, no, it does make sense. They're like it's in the fucking... It's in the intro. They're like a global help force that isn't always combative.
But, like, it's understandable to, like, make those connections, but, like, inside voice, bud.
Yeah, that. Like, you don't have to... Just because you think it, you don't have to say it. I've learned that the hard way, man. Just because, sometimes some things are better left in the head.
I'll admit that was fucking stupid of me to say, but like your brain just.
It's
it's more of it's learning time.
Yeah, it's learning. We're all like, I feel like this is just a very.
I mean, here's the thing. Like,
there's no easy way.
I've said enough shit in this episode. I feel like there will be comments calling me a shithead, and you know what? Fine, valid. I'm a shithead.
Yeah,
I've never
I
said
think
I'm
what matters is we will all learn from this. We all learn. We all be better. It's like,
and we just
we
understand our place in
current. Yeah,
and we understand we've learned a lot about each other's positions on these kinds of things tonight, and like certainly not something I ever wanted to have to discuss with you guys, but like it's good to know. It definitely puts our friendship and our particular working relationships going forward in a new and more informed perspective, I'd say.
I feel like we're stronger. Like, yeah, some of us said some stupid stuff. I feel like we're all stronger.
It's just the world is not kind to small things. Like I think it's just fine to just admit it in a general sense. We don't live in a free world. No one does at this point in time, because we all live in... It's feudalism just on a bigger scale. It's because Russia's full of oligarchs. And while no one wants to just say it, no one just wants to admit it, America is oligarchy. It is a few select rich assholes bankrolling politicians to do what they want them to do.
I mean, I even argue that's like way early. Again, keep in mind, America started via like just people.
Oh yeah, no, we've been in neocolonialism for what, 50 years now?
Oh yeah.
No. There's a difference between colonialism and neocolonialism.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was just referring to just colonialism, not neo.
Yeah, because again, the sanctions against Russia, that is weaponizing neocolonialism due to the fact that we are trying to strip away economic a variety of things against Russia to hurt them, to kneecap them to the point where they cannot continue this anymore.
And if you don't mind, can we wrap up the episode? Because like my folks have to stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of been circling the drain for a few minutes here anyway. So like I don't know. I'm the fucking host. I don't have anything really strong and encouraging and enheartening to say to like send the listeners off if there still are listeners at this point in this podcast. But like, guys, we're at a tough spot right now, and we're all just trying to process it how we can. And this is us as a group processing it for a little while. Yeah. So God, this feels extra scummy this week. Boinger Rider, tell people where they can check out your content.
There's links in the description for all of our things. If you want to check our things out, you can look in the description. That's I think the best way to handle it today.
You could put the links to the donation things there.
For you.
Yeah, there will be before any of our links. I'll put some Ukrainian donations.
Yeah, I'll double check them because I know some of them have been a bit faulty. That's why I'm like a bit hesitant to donate.
Yeah, do be careful about that. And same here. You know.
Yeah, and if any comments,
do your
research. Do your research, and that doesn't mean Google it. It means do your fucking research.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like I had to actually translate text from websites and like double check shit before I make it. I know how to do my due diligence, and my due diligence is ending this podcast right now because, quite frankly, I feel like we all need a good, nice poop before we move into the other thing we need to do this evening. So, thank you for listening, everyone. Please stay safe, take care of yourself, process and cope how you need to process, and hopefully we'll see you back here next week.
Don't be a dick.
We move on.